Hello everyone! Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Reen, a Baltic witch, and as my primary practice, I do tarot reading and oracle reading, divination. So I wanted to do a journal log, so to say, and talk about what decks I have in my collection right now, middle February 2025. I think I will make it a series. I will talk and do a flip through each deck that I have in a separate video, but just a quick overview here. We'll start with my very first deck. This is the Shadowscapes Tarot deck with art by Stephanie Puimonlaw. Very, very beautiful. If you have not heard of this artist, but you really like this like very intricate fantasy style of art, definitely I recommend. Unfortunately, my problem with this deck is specifically its box. It's still from the times when the boxes did not hold the cards snugly in them. The size of the guidebook was not really matching the size of the deck. That's why I guess I don't really use it that often. I'll show you what's inside. So we have a very nice big guidebook, and then we have this like ooh, 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 extra little box here, which holds the cards, which are much smaller, the standard size of tarot cards. Yeah, so beautiful cards, beautiful art, but unfortunately, due to the fact that I never rehoused them, I still want to keep them together with the guidebook. I have not rehoused them into a better box. See, it's completely fallen apart. I'm kind of struggling using them, but we'll see. Maybe I'll come up with a better solution in the future. Very beautiful descriptions in the guidebook. Quite an interesting, intricate story woven around what is depicted in the card. So if you're into this like dreamy fantasy style, definitely recommend. It's a very beautiful deck. So the next one, which I also have with the art of Stephanie, is the Tree Keeper's Oracle. Now, this time the deck, the box, everything is a little bit better quality. Not a little bit, it's actually much better quality. Um, this deck to me speaks more about the areas of your life you need to pay attention to, the subconscious and the more conscious. In the moment, that would kind of, you know, very much benefit you if you work with those areas. Let me quickly show what's inside. So we have a nice snug box with a magnetic lock. Nice, these like shimmery elements on the covers of the box. Everything in color, very beautiful inside, beautiful quotes. We have a bag pouch for the cards if you prefer to keep them like that. You have a full color, very high quality print guidebook inside, and then the cards themselves with golden edging, very kind of nice quality. I really like these cards. They're very nice to work with. Okay, I'll talk more about that. Oh. I'm having trouble putting them back inside. I guess they really want to speak, but that's not the why we are making this video. Yeah, so let's put them back. So this is the two decks with the art of Stephanie. So if you like the style, definitely look up the artist, look up the decks. Let's put this away and talk more about another artist I follow and really, really like, Loputyn. So this is romantic Gothic style, very sensual, very beautiful. She has an oracle deck in a nice sturdy box. So when you open, you have a guidebook in two languages. Um, just the texts. Let me look up a card that I will not be banned for showing. Let's say this one. So very beautiful art. No edging, but the deck is very nice to work with and a lot of beautiful elements there to read from the pictures. So really, really enjoy her art. I have a very big collection of her art books, the books that her illustrations are in. A very wonderful artist. Cannot, well, it's not sponsored, but cannot recommend enough. She has also a tarot deck, as you can see. These are already an oracle, so they're quite big in your hand. This is pretty much impossible to shuffle the usual way, the shuffling motion. This is a tarot deck that only has the major arcana in it, but also additionally has a small oracle, so additional cards that come as an oracle there. I have a Russian edition. So once again, nice, very sturdy box, a little bit of gold. Yeah, it does show a bit. Gold elements there. So you have a colorful, beautiful guidebook, and then the cards themselves. Yes, I was very much surprised by the size of these cards. So this is the Tower card, for example. So you have the Major Arcana here. This is the Empress card, the one that is on the covers of the guidebook and the deck itself. And then there's additional cards. Let me check if I can find at least some of them. No, that's all yeah, for example, this one, Metamorphosis. This is one of the Oracle decks Oracle cards in this deck. But everything very, very beautiful. So if you kind of want to draw, let's say, for your situation, one key card, because it's the major arcana, that's kind of a beautiful thing to work with. A beautiful deck. So, Loputyn, if you have not heard about this artist, but I definitely recommend going and checking out her work. So let's continue. I have I played Dungeons and Dragons. I am a dungeon master and I got gifted this wonderful deck. Um, so yeah, a little bit of damage to the box here, but I work with the decks. So they're not pristine, and some of them actually came already slightly damaged just because of how they traveled. Um, I am a dungeon master, and this is a very interesting deck that I like a lot, but sometimes it's a little bit tricky to read because it does follow the setup of your traditional deck, but all the minor arcana are called with the stats in D&D. So you have charisma, you have strength there, you have wisdom. Uh, and I think intelligence was the fourth one that they used, but not really much indication in the deck, in the cards themselves, to which of the minor arcana decks the card belongs to. So it's a lot of guesswork or just looking through the guidebook here. Guidebook is in color, of course, with some guidance. An interesting thing, if you're a dungeon master, um, every single card has a little bit of a story hook for you to explore, to throw in if you have no ideas and you want to just randomly generate an idea what to do with your party um, just by using this deck. I actually used this deck giving readings to players while in a session, in a game, to the characters. So they got a little bit of a reading, actual reading from there. I do like the quality, so this is like, um, they almost feel plastic, although they're not, and the size is good. They shuffle very well, so nice black style if you're into that. I really like it. It's kind of very nice uniform, not necessarily easy to read, but it still gives you quite a lot of space for your imagination to work with. So this is the Dungeons and Dragon Tarot deck. Dungeons and Dragons as a game also has its own deck in it, in one of the modules. Never tried to work with that one to see if I can incorporate it, but we'll see. Maybe sometimes in the future. Okay. Oh, where do we go from here? Let's go into the horror area. This is a new deck that I have. It's pristine quality. It's like so high quality of a deck. Mother Mort's Carnival of Souls. It's an oracle deck. Comes in a very beautiful box. As you can see, there's a gold kind of embossing on it. It's very beautiful. If you have not come across it, but you're into this. So it's more of a horror, kind of macabre theme deck, but it's so beautiful. See, lots of gold. There is a admission ticket to the circus, so there's a whole story around this deck, and you actually, what you get here is a little book with the story explaining the characters and what it's all about. Very, very interesting. And then you have, of course, the guidebook, giving like proper quality, full color, soft covers, but this one is a hardcover book explaining which character is supposed to be what in the carnival and what do they represent. And then you have a very, very beautiful deck. Once again, lots of gold embossing, nice green edging here, not shimmery, but then you have all sorts of they're just beautiful. Very macabre theme here. So if you're into that, into the kind of creepy, weird, that's a wonderful deck. I've read a little bit with it. It's easier when you know the story, but because, well, characters represent something, you cannot really guess that much what do the cards are supposed to represent, but it's a very interesting deck. I have also the Horror Tarot deck. Really love the art. Really love the. I keep forgetting the name of the artist. I'm very, very sorry if I'm not naming them. Um, yeah, here. Abigail Larson is the artist who drew the illustrations for this deck. Very beautiful, quite scary. It does explore more the darker side of the divination, so to say. It's not about the good things, it's more about the shadow work and slightly kind of tuning into the don'ts instead of the do's. Um, so yeah, if you're kind of tired of the readings being constantly too fluffy, too happy, too everything is gonna be fine, maybe look into this deck. It's also very interesting to read. You still can um, spin it around, so to say, pick up the good messages from it, obviously, but also some warnings, some things to keep in mind. So very good quality. As you can see, once again, we have glossy, we have shimmery here. We have a full color guidebook in it and a beautiful, beautiful deck. So with very beautiful art. Love it. It's really so fun to work with. Okay, let's put it away. Okay, let's put it away. So these are my more, horror themed decks that I really, really enjoy working with. Let's see, next, if we're talking about weird and obscure, then probably I should mention also this Oracle deck here. Rainbow Brainskull. If you need a daily message, something completely weird and funny, then just pull a card for the day. That's, I guess, one of the decks for you. And if you like the rebellious, non-conform, not, traditional fantasy or something, readings and decks, just modern day, funky, fun, that's a good deck. Um, so magnetic covers, lots of shimmer here. Um, so inside you have a guidebook in color. Theme is black and splashes of color, so everything on theme. And then let's take the deck out. Once again, a lot of shimmer here. This rainbow is rainbowy silver shimmer, beautiful and very funny messages. Most of them, it kind of feels something when you're completely drunk or high. That's the things your brain suddenly realizes, the meaning of life in this funny way. That's that. It's very fun to read from this one. Let's put it back. Okay, good. So, oop. So the Rainbow Brainskull Oracle deck. Now let's move on to there's so many things here. Let's see. Daily messages. Dream Ritual Oracle cards. I really like it. It is meant for dream work, so to work with the dreams that you get. It has various rituals and various questions to think about once you have seen a dream, how to kind of process your dreams, what to do with them. But the cards are set up. Um, yeah, so also in color. Little guidebook here in color. What I like about this deck, it's very nice messages, just one word messages here. They're good just to pull not only for your dream work, but just as a message for your day or something that you need to pay attention to in that day. So adventure, and then you can make the day all about adventure or whatever you pick from that card. Illuminate. So just getting not only for your dreams, but just as a message for your day, for your week. Just one word, you pull it and you go with that message. I just like it. It's a simple deck. It doesn't require much from you. It gives you a nice little message. Very, very good. So let's put this one away. Next one that I want to talk about, let's see. Let's talk about the Once Upon a Time Tarot. I really love this deck. If you're a beginner reader, you want a very simple, easy to read deck, but you don't want the standard ones because, you want something a little bit more fancy, something a little bit more fantasy, a little bit more fun, but that is still very easy to read, very clear in its messages. I would totally recommend this deck. So I definitely recommend it to everyone as a beginner deck. The back of the box was so. This company, if you don't know, they produce these nice decks. They're good quality. They're not too fancy. Uh, I really, really like them, to be completely honest. So the guidebook will always be just text in multiple languages, but it's very always on spot and very easy to read. And they're not that big, they're comfortable in your hand. The quality, of course, it's not ideal, but that's almost the quality of your regular cards. Easy to shuffle, easy to work with, easy to read. So the messages are very, very kind of coming through very clearly with this deck, but it's a little bit more fantasy style, fairy tale style. So if you want something cutesy but simple to read, sorry for message in the background. So that's the deck I recommend. Then a bit more about, let's say, green, which is work I'm pretty sure everyone knows. Erin's books and also her decks. I really like this one. Gives you very good, straightforward messages. I also like when you have reflection points in the guidebook. You can use them, you can also not use them, but it's good to have them. Colored guidebook, beautiful oracle deck. So, as we know, oracle decks are a little bit bigger in size usually. Still very comfortable to shuffle. Beautiful, beautiful art. Lots of symbols in there that you can read. And also, I do like oracle decks. If you're also a beginner reader, look for those that have the actual word on them a little bit of more. So it will be easier for you to kind of pick up on what's on the card, what it's meant to represent. Easier for you to kind of learn to read them and get into the process. So. And it's all about nature, about the green witch practices. I do like my plants. I'm not very good on plants, but of course, I live by a forest, and yeah, the connection with the source and with the nature definitely give me a lot of strength and wisdom. So this is something that I really like to tap in. Another one that I received recently is the Herbarium Oracle cards. Uh, Also nature related, plant related, but from what I've observed, I didn't read much with it. Ooh, 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 ooh. See, not even opening just yet because it's such a new deck, not worked in. Um, a lot of poisonous plants in here, and it's kind of not that easy yet. And yeah, as you can see, same company as our Once Upon a Time. We get them a lot here, but it's good quality still. I have nothing against this company and these cards. Actually, a little bit of color, but still a lot of text here. Um, Multiple languages. That what makes the guidebook quite thick because you have multiple languages here, but I think it's a good thing because not necessarily you're an English language speaker, maybe one of the languages in the guidebook you actually know better, easier for you to read and interpret. Um, this time the quality is better. We have some gold embossing here. The card stock is pretty much same as Once Upon a Time Tarot, slightly bigger because it's an oracle deck. They tend to be bigger in size, still very easy to shuffle. It's still within the parameters of your usual decks. Yeah, but I'm still to very much learn what each one of them is supposed to represent. There are some symbols in here that you can read, so it's not just, a plant and a hand holding that plant. There is a little bit of extra symbolism in the cards. Yeah, but so far I'm still figuring it out and learning the plants as I go. That's always interesting for me. So if you're into green witchery, there's a lot of decks. This is like for herbal witches. Ooh, another message in the background. I'm very sorry about that. Let's go into more oracles. Everyday Switch Familiar Oracle. I really like the art and the quality here. And yeah, it has a lot of things in here that you can interpret by. The cards are separated by elements, so you can look into that. You have the divination message, you have another message there. There's a lot to look at. Good quality, soft covers, but nice, very good quality guidebook, full color, big cards. I'm not very a fan of the style of the back of the cards, but I really love the art. Very, very beautiful and nice, sturdy cardstock, glossy, though. Just keep in mind if you're reading and you're filming something, then yeah, it will show any kind of light sources that you have because it's glossy. But beautiful, beautiful art. Lots of animals. So, as we know, a witch's familiar can be any type of, they can represent themselves as any type of animal. And yeah, there's a lot of options, even if you're kind of exploring and thinking, what could be a familiar, even if you're not really into witchcraft, but maybe fantasy writing about witches. Yeah, all of these could be. Wonderful deck. Um, Next, we're coming to an end. Next is the Tarot of the Divine. We have a deck and a guidebook. There is also an entire storybook that comes with it. It's from Yoshi Yoshitani. It's inspired by folklore and fairy tales, and that I really, really like. I have, I generally like the theme of fairy tales and mythology in my decks because it makes them very, very fun. good, beautiful quality. This is like very thin covers, but it's all color inside. You have a little story there. Who is that? For example, this is La Llorona. And what is good about this deck, this one actually considers you reading upright and reversed. It gives you the keywords and then you can interpret further from that. Some of the pictures don't really connect with me with the traditional meaning of the card, so that's my only kind of, I would say, negative point. It's not necessarily always that straightforward and easy to read just because of that, but I really do enjoy that they're giving you also the reversed meanings and the art is beautiful. And yeah, it's a beautiful deck. You have this moon phases, the triple goddess on the back, so it is beautiful. And the storybook is very interesting. Something definitely, if you have a collection, something to add to your collection. I do have it, not with me at this table at the moment, but yay, love it. Another type of, sorry, another type of oracles that you might come across, and I have one just as an example. I guess I just picked it up on a whim because I go to my bookstores a lot and pick up a lot of card decks and books like that. It's a book oracle where you basically you have some messages and you just flip through and see where you stop. It's time to air your opinions. So this is our message here. Um, yeah. So if you're into something like that, it's definitely a thing to keep in your collection. Not really a thing for me, from what I kind of figure. I don't really use it that much, but it's still a valid oracle. And the most recent addition to my collection is under the Oak Tarot. I just got gifted it very, very recently. Um, it is, yeah, same company. Nice, um, sturdy box, but surprisingly to me, I did not expect it actually opens like this. You just pop a lid. Inside, you have the guidebook. So once again, similarly to the Once Upon a Time tarot, it's just text in multiple languages. Here, that I also did not expect, you have a title card, which is not technically a card. They just kind of protect the deck itself by putting a card up front and up back with some art. And this is, yeah, this is the back side with a little bit of kind of advertisement, marketing information, and very, very beautiful, fun art. So this one also has silver edging, so I guess they started doing that. And yeah, beautiful art. Similar cardstock to the other one. This deck is more has to do with Celtic and Norse mythology. So a lot of runes in the elder runes in the cards, lots of various symbols, so you definitely can see a lot of, traditional kind of witchy symbols, the horn god in there, Odin stone, Freya, so things like that. So if you're into it and you do like this art style, yeah, pick it up. It's a very beautiful deck. So I'm looking to expand my collection, but that is my collection at this point. I'm happy with it, and I will be talking about each deck in more detail in the following videos of this hopefully series. We'll see. And of course, well, I'll be doing some readings with them. I don't do readings that often or on a schedule. Whenever I am compelled to do one, that's when I do a reading. So yeah, if you come across any of them, I will be very happy. I will be happy if you interact with this video in any way. If you have anything to say, if you have any questions about these decks, any questions to me, If you want some recommendations from me, which deck to pick, more details about them, just drop me a comment. I'm very, very happy to hear from you. And thank you. I'm glad that you found this video. I'm wishing you a wonderful, wonderful day. Blessings. Bye.